The second was the rhythmic, soft beeping of a machine somewhere to my left. The third was the gentle, cool pressure on my right hand. I tried to open my eyes, but my eyelids felt like they were glued shut. A groan escaped my lips, rough and dry. Instantly, the pressure on my hand tightened. A voice, melodic and soft, spoke in a language I didn't recognize. The tones were soothing, like a gentle stream flowing over smooth stones. I tried again, putting all my effort into lifting my eyelids. This time, they fluttered open, revealing a blurry, unfamiliar world. The ceiling was a soft, pearlescent white, glowing with a light that didn't seem to have a source. I blinked, and the room slowly came into focus. It was clean, minimalist, and definitely not human. The walls curved smoothly, and the air smelled faintly of ozone and something sweet, like honeysuckle after a rainstorm. My gaze drifted from the strange ceiling to the source of the voice, and that's when I saw her. She was ethereal, tall and slender, with skin the color of twilight, a soft lavender hue that seemed to shift and shimmer. Her eyes were large and silver, like pools of liquid mercury, and they were fixed on me with an expression of profound concern. She had no hair, but a delicate, bioluminescent pattern traced across her scalp, pulsing with a soft, blue light. She wore a simple, white garment that draped elegantly over her frame. She was an alien nurse, I guessed, given the medical-looking room and her attentive posture. I was on a ship, or a station, far from home. Panic began to bubble in my chest, hot and sharp. Where was I? What happened to my crew? My ship, the Odyssey. As if sensing my distress, she tightened her grip on my hand again. Her fingers were long and delicate, yet her hold was surprisingly strong and reassuring. She leaned closer, her silver eyes searching mine. She spoke again, her voice a low, musical whisper. The words were Steleon, but the tone was universal. Confort. Reassurance. I tried to speak, to ask the torrent of questions swirling in my mind, but all that came out was a dry croak. My throat felt like sandpaper. She seemed to understand. With her free hand, she reached for a small, sleek device on a floating tray beside my bed. A thin, flexible tube extended from it. She gently brought it to my lips. Cool, refreshing water flowed into my mouth, and I drank greedily. After a few sips, she pulled it away. I managed a week. Thank you. Her silver eyes widened slightly, and the bioluminescent patterns on her head brightened. A small smile touched her lips, revealing pearly white teeth. She then tapped a device on her wrist. A moment later, a synthesized, slightly robotic voice echoed in the room, translating her melodic speech into English. You are welcome. It is good to see you awake, human. Where am I? I rasped, my voice still weak. You are aboard the medical vessel Serafina, the translator said. We found your escape pod adrift in the Cathar Nebula. You were the only survivor. The only survivor. The words hit me like a physical blow. Captain Eva Rostova. My engineer, Ben Carter. Our pilot, Gia Lee. All gone. A wave of grief washed over me, so powerful it threatened to pull me back into unconsciousness. Tears welled in my eyes, blurring the image of the alien nurse. She didn't speak. She just held my hand, her grip a silent anchor in the storm of my sorrow. I squeezed back, clinging to her as if she were the only thing keeping me from drifting away entirely. I closed my eyes, and the memories flooded in. The alarms, the shaking hull, the explosion that tore our ship apart. Eva shoving me into the last escape pod. Go, Alex. Live. I must have drifted in and out of consciousness for a while after that. Each time I woke, she was there. Sometimes she was adjusting these strange medical devices monitoring my vitals. Other times, she was simply sitting in the chair beside my bed, her silver eyes watching me with that same unwavering concern. She never spoke much, letting the silence and her steady presence do the work. Slowly, with her care, I began to heal. The pain subsided, replaced by a deep ache of loss that I knew would never fully fade. She brought me food. Strange but nutritious nutrient pastes that tasted surprisingly good. She helped me sit up, then stand, my legs shaky and weak from disuse. Through the translator, I learned her name was Lyra. She was a species known for their empathic abilities and their advanced medical knowledge. She explained that my injuries had been severe multiple fractures, internal bleeding, severe dehydration. It was a miracle I had survived. "You fought hard," the translator relayed one day as she helped me walk a few steps around the room. "Your will to live is impressive." "I had to," I said, my voice stronger now. "I made a promise." Lyra tilted her head, her silver eyes questioning. I didn't elaborate. It was too personal, too raw, but she seemed to understand anyway. That was the thing about Lyra. It often felt like she understood what I was feeling better than I did myself. One night, I was plagued by nightmares. The explosion, the screams, the cold vacuum of space. I thrashed in my bed, tangled in the smooth, metallic fiber sheets. I woke up with a gasp, my heart pounding, sweat slick on my skin, and she was there. She must have been alerted by my monitors. She placed a cool hand on my forehead, her touch instantly calming the frantic racing of my heart. She murmured something in her language, the sound a gentle lullaby. I reached out blindly, my hand finding hers in the dim light. I clung to it, anchoring myself to the present, to the Libin. She didn't pull away. She just sat with me, her presence a silent vigil until I finally drifted back into a restless, but dreamless, sleep. Weeks passed. I was almost fully recovered. I could walk on my own, and the sterile white room no longer felt like a prison, but a sanctuary. Lyra and I had developed a routine, a comfortable silence punctuated by her occasional questions about humanity and my stories of Earth. I learned about her world, Xylos, a planet of glowing forests and serene cities. The day came when the head physician, a stern-looking being from a different species, cleared me for transfer. They had contacted the nearest human outpost, and a ship was coming to pick me up. I should have been overjoyed. I was going home, but a strange sadness settled in my heart. It meant leaving Lyra. My last night on the Serafina, I couldn't sleep. I sat on the edge of the bed, looking out the viewport at the star-dusted blackness. A soft chime announced the door sliding open. It was Lyra. She carried a tray with 2 cups of a warm, fragrant beverage she had introduced me to. She handed one to me and sat in the chair she had occupied so many times before.